As we near the end of the racing season, the wet tracks continue to pop up everywhere. This week's Metropolitan meeting takes place at Ranwick. The Milky Bar Kid has enjoyed 3 straight wins this preparation for My Racehorse and Connections. Can he add another win to his tally in the benchmark 78 handicap over 2,400 metres?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. No reason he can't. These are some good testing conditions for him. We're stepping him up in grade and stepping him up in trip. But he deserves that after some impressive performances to date. He's still learning his trade. He's putting it all together. He'll take a lot of confidence from his previous win. Just got a little bit lost there, but he still did enough to win in the unusual circumstances of that race. But he's trained on well. He looks good in his condition, and hopefully we can see him run out a strong 2,400 metres.
So United put in a huge effort last time out to finish second over 2,000 metres on a heavy 9. Will he enjoy the step up to 2,400 metres over similar track conditions in the benchmark 78 handicap for Blue Blood Thoroughbreds?
Yeah, I think he will. Most importantly, he got through the heavy conditions at Ranwick at his last start. I think that's key. He's training like he's looking for the 2,400 metres, the way he's being able to settle in his races now. That gives him every opportunity to see it out, and certainly it was a very encouraging run last start, so that gives me a lot of confidence going forward to this race. So it should be a good match-up between the two horses, So United and the Milky Bar Kid. Looking forward to it.
Ferretti will run first up in the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,200 metres. How has this son of I Am Invincible pleased you so far this preparation?
He's freshened up nicely since coming up from Melbourne. He had the run earlier in the campaign down there and has trialled nicely since being up here. He does prefer being back on top of the ground. He's got some wet track form, but no doubt his best performances, as I said, are on the faster surfaces. So with that in mind, he'll take good improvement off the race, particularly if we can step him up to 1,400 metres next start.
Stonecoat made his debut at Scone a fortnight ago, where he won his maiden in impressive fashion. Do you think he will cope with a step up in trip and grade this weekend?
Yeah, I certainly do. It was a very encouraging run. Even though it was at Scone meeting, it was a provincial meeting transferred to that track. Run on heavy conditions on the day as well, so certainly encouraging for that fact going to a likely heavy track here at Randwick. He's got the pedigree and stamina, I feel, to be a nice middle distance horse in time, so testing 1,200 metres should be very much to his liking. He's got the benefit of the race experience up against a couple of debutants, so certainly very encouraged by that, particularly how strong he was through his debut win.
Butter Blonde will represent the Melbourne stable at Caulfield on Saturday in the 3-year-old fillies handicap over 1,200 metres. Are you confident she can pick up her second win this campaign for Rosemont Stud and Connections?
I think it was a much better run than what we'll read in the form guide from her last start. It was a really fastly run race, very hotly contested for the pace early. She's usually a speed filly that likes to dominate her races, so hopefully she can get those conditions this time around. The track will suit her. She was just hampered for room there late at her last start, so I think with a little bit of clear running she certainly would have been in amongst the placings. With that, certainly feel that form line will be good enough for Saturday's race. I expect it to be competitive once again for us.
Redoubt Soul has returned from a spell and has a couple of options this weekend over 1,400 and 1,600 metres. Which option are you currently leaning towards?
We've settled on resuming in the 1,600 metres. I feel that's a distance that will suit her best. She's going to be a nice middle distance filly for us going forward. She won well first up last campaign racing fresh, so expected to do the same this time round. Looks well placed here. No doubt she'll continue to improve throughout the preparation, but certainly dealing with a much stronger and more mature filly this time round.
Ransacker will go second up in the 3-year-old maiden plate over 1,400 metres. What type of race are you expecting him to run?
I'm hoping to see a much improved performance from his first up run. He may have just found them a little bit sharp for him over the 1,200 metres. He raced in just behind the speed. He looked to get a lovely run. Once the runs did come from him, he was a little bit flat-footed when they sprinted quicker than him. He held his ground to the line, so stepping up to the 1,400 metres looks to be a likely positive for him. With that, expect him to be able to sit closer or potentially be able to dictate the speed here and control things to suit. So hoping to see a much improved performance.